Okay, this is like the third time I'm trying to film this video. It's ridiculous. I'm going to talk about sexual health. Now, if you're a responsible adult, you will stick around. If you're a twat, if you're a child, or basically immature, an idiot, then, well, you're going to end up leaving. You're going to click out, and you are going to jeopardize the health of yourself and the people around you, and perhaps the people that you actually love and care about the most. So that's what's going to happen. So for a woman, or actually, let me rephrase, for someone with female genitalia, what it involves, they might examine, they'll examine the area. This is it. If you go in, you can get at-home tests as, oh, for fuck's sake, you know what? Let me pull up my text as well. You can get at-home tests. A lot of clinics do free delivery for that. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to go in, but it should be noted that the only time you should be doing at-home tests is if you're asymptomatic, meaning you don't have symptoms. A quick thing for STIs, in case you didn't know already, the symptoms don't always show up within like a week or two. You can get tested a week or two after you've engaged in sex, but the actual test might not come through positive until perhaps a few more weeks later down the line, or a few months even. Sometimes symptoms don't appear either for like a very, very long time. So you could be asymptomatic, just like COVID, and you could be positive still for STIs. And a lot of people think that, oh, I don't feel anything different, therefore I must be fine. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. A lot of people are asymptomatic. Chlamydia is the most common STI in the UK. A lot of STIs, if you don't treat them early on, can lead to, well, a lot of things like brain damage, blindness. Yeah, there's a lot of shit that can come from it. So just stay on top of it. It is as important as the rest of your health. If you neglect it, you are neglecting yourself, you are neglecting any future partners you might have. The reason I'm making this video is because I've learned a lot and I want to share it, but also, why is there so much shame around it? There shouldn't be. I think there's this idea that if you have STIs or you're getting checked, that you're just a promiscuous person. And I think promiscuity is the sort of thing like, hush hush, like we shouldn't talk about it, right? But it's like, well, first of all, that my arm is shaking because I did biceps yesterday and I just put my hand in a certain position and it was just like triggered. Hold on, this is so funny. I don't know if I can like, it doesn't do it on here. I just put my, okay, that's so funny. I was like, my hand's like vibrating. First of all, what people do with their sex lives, as long as they're not harming anyone or doing anything illegal, it is none of your business, okay? And the second thing is, sometimes all you need is to sleep with one person who has an STI and boom, you've got it. So can we please throw the shame out of the fucking window? It does not belong here. Whoever said it does, will sod you. Honestly, the way that it goes, you can be tested at the GP, not all GPs, but some GPs. A lot of GPs, I think they will just refer you to a sexual health clinic. There's something called a gum clinic as well. I'm not too sure if that's the same thing. You can get tested in a few places. If you are symptomatic, go and get tested at a clinic so that they can also like examine you and everything. As a person with female genitalia, what my checks have involved have been a swab. So in some cases I've done my own swab, and that's a vaginal swab. I also did a throat swab. Of course they are separate swabs, please keep that in mind, although I would hope that's blatantly obvious. Yeah, but you do like a COVID swab, like at the back of your throat. Yeah, I know, not the most comfortable, but I'm sure at this point most of us have done it, so just get a grip. So there's that is for the testing of chlamydia and gonorrhea. For syphilis and HIV, they do a blood test. Me being me, not a huge fan of blood tests, but turns out the more you do it, or the more you expose yourself to the things that make you uncomfortable, the slightly more bearable it gets. I'm not saying it's easier, but you learn how to handle it. And if you remember that you're doing this for yourself and you're doing this for people, I think that, well, I think that helps to get through it. What I'd personally do when I'm getting a blood test, I just keep chatting. That helps me. I also let the doctor or nurse know in advance that I can get woozy. I make sure that I've eaten something if possible, that I've drunk a lot of water. That's what it consists of. Things like thrush and BV, they can check on the day. They can put sample. So what they will do, they'll do an examination. They will put like a speculum into you if you have female genitalia. They will talk to you about it. They're not just gonna be like, okay, open wide and, you know, boom. They, you know, they're like, okay, if you want me to stop at any point, like, they're very at your own pace. And if they're not going like that, well, they're not very professional. But I quickly want to take a moment to mention that you need to be assertive over your own health. So that means taking yourself to the clinic in the first place, but also if someone is not respecting your body, your pace, you talk about it, you speak up. Say, I'm sorry, could we slow down here? Could you please take that out? Can we not do this today? You use your words, use your language. This is your body. You have the right to feel safe in it, okay? And this is obviously not just in this context, but in case you need the reminder, I'm here to remind you. So they will insert a speculum. They will take a little sample, very comfortable. It's sort of, how do I describe it? If you've had an IUD, it's not as bad as that, or not as uncomfortable as that. Yeah, so then they'll take a sample. It kind of feels a little bit tickly on like your cervix area, and then they'll go and they'll check it. So they can test for thrush, which is like, this is, I think, pretty sure it's the same as a yeast infection. They can test for that. They can test for BV, which is bacterial vaginosis, on the day, and then they can kind of provide you with your results and treatment. With regards to STIs, you will hear your results within about 2 weeks from the clinic. Usually they'll like text you or call or email, something like that. I'm pretty sure it's a text in most cases. I could be wrong. If you're a person with male genitalia, what that entails is if you are only having sex with people with female genitalia, yeah, I'm just double checking what she said. I asked because I was like talking about how a lot of men or a lot of young men are just as lackadaisical, the word, more like, oh well, it's fine, I'm fine. But it's like, well, you might not be. And I kind of I asked her, I was like, what can I say to like the men of the world, or like my male friends, about this? Because one of my guy friends was like, oh, I talked to them about it the other day, and they're like, oh, they're gonna stick something up my butt. And I'm wondering, is that a thought that goes through a lot of guys' minds? Because I wouldn't be surprised. So I've noticed in a lot of like, oh, it's a squirrel, hi, I forgot what I named you, but I want to call you Nina right now. Oh my god, there's a fat pigeon. That pigeon is fucking huge. That's not a pigeon. No. What are you? Is that a blackbird? No, but it's got a white belly. That is fucking huge, just like a chicken. So cute. But I really don't know how it got all the way up there because it is massive. Sorry. Okay, so if you are a person with male genitalia sleeping with a person with female genitalia, they will get a urine sample from you and a blood test. If you are a person with male genitalia and you are sleeping with people who have male genitalia as well, you will take your own anal swab, and they will also get a throat swab from you. That's it. That's it. I am ready, if my tests ever come back positive with anything, I am happy to text the people that I've slept with, the appropriate people, and tell them, look, just tested positive for this, it would be worth you getting a test too. And a lot of people, and I know I get it, but a lot of people are like, oh no, it made me so uncomfortable, oh no, they're gonna think this of me. You know what? They can think whatever they want. At the end of the day, you've done them a favour. You've done them a favour by being honest. If you're someone and you're sleeping with people knowing that you have an STI or that you could have an STI, shame on you. Really? Because you're fucking with someone else's health, and that's not fair. Now, I'm gonna say, obviously, it does take two to tango. There are, or however many parties involved. You're all going into it knowing that there are risks, right? But just because everyone knows there are risks, it doesn't mean that it's okay for you to be shady. It's not cool. I would rather someone said to me, look, I'd love to do this with you, but I'm currently being treated for something. Or look, I'd love to do this with you, but currently I have symptoms for something like this. Or look, I'd love to do this with you, but I need to get tested because it's been a while. I would rather wait. I would rather have someone respect me like that than have them just go ahead and do their thing, knowing that they are not being fully honest. It's very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful to do that to another human being, because if you pass something on, for women especially, I mean, actually, to be honest, I think it can fuck with both sexes, or like, and all genders obviously, but like all sexes even. It can fuck with anyone. It can affect somebody's reproduction ability or reproductive ability in the future. It's each individual's responsibility to get themselves checked. But if you know that you have something, or you in the back of your mind you're like, I've never been tested, even if you've only had one sexual partner in the past, why are you doing that? It's not fair. It's not fair. And some people, like, okay, let's say you're like, oh no, I'm fine, and you just sweep it under the rug and you pass shit on, and you don't actually give a damn about other people, and you're like, whatever, screw them, it's none of my business. Okay. Well, you do realise that STI symptoms can show up years later as well. And by then the damage has been done in yourself. So if not for other people, do it for yourself. If other people isn't enough to light a fire under your ass, do it for yourself. There's a lot of stigma and there's a lot of sweeping under the rug about this type of stuff. I think they don't talk about it enough at school, like many other things, but it's just as important. And I think we should be more assertive about our health. And there's no shame, man. Like, I just want to take that out. Like, for God's sake, you could sleep with 3 people or 300. Like, the person who slept with 3 people can have an STI and the person who slept with 300 might not. Like, you know, if you sleep with more people, there's a higher chance, but all it takes is one person. That sentence says it all. A lot of people will be like, oh, but I only slept with them once. Yeah, so any sexual interaction can be enough to pass it on, you dipshit. I think that's enough for now, but I think you get the point. Get yourself checked. Yeah, don't be a prick. Get yourself checked. Seeing if I have any other points. Yeah, it's no biggie. It takes like an hour. And I honestly think if you can spend an hour scrolling Instagram or an hour just falafeling about however you do, you can spend an hour doing something that's good for yourself and all society. Yeah. By the way, those at-home, I'm just seeing if I have any other points. Those at-home kits are free. If they're from like the website of the what's it called, of the clinic. Sometimes you can get kits from like Superdrug, Boots. What you do is you do the thing and then you send it off and then you get your results, and if you need treatment, you can get it from like Superdrug, Boots usually. I'm not sure if you can get treatment for everything. There are other websites, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not too sure exactly what they are. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, if you want, especially I guess the people with female genitalia watching, if you want me to make a separate video talking about situations that I've had, I can talk about my experiences with like BV, thrush, a pelvic infection, because I've experienced all of those. I'm happy to make a video discussing that and sort of what caused that. I'm happy to make a video discussing all of that, because I think awareness is important. So many people are like so embarrassed to talk about stuff, and it's like, you don't understand how normal this stuff is. There have been so many instances where it's like, I wish I had a bigger sister to talk me through how to do things. I've had to become the bigger sister. I am the bigger sister. So if I can help in any way, then I will, because I don't see why there should be so much shame around this. It's just health. That's it. So please take care of yours, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.